Deadpool 2. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Deadpool 2. First of all, I enjoyed Deadpool 1. I thought it was a pretty okay movie. I would give it an 8. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny, very entertaining. But at the end of the day, I had several minor things that bothered me about Deadpool. I, first of all, it was kind of gimmicky. There were a lot of gimmicks to Deadpool 1, and I kind of felt like the new bag of tricks that it showed me sort of wore off about halfway through the film, and I was fairly familiar with all the new tricks it was trying to show me. The other problem I had with Deadpool 2 was the fact the way it was set up is that it was set up with this framing device where they're cutting back and forth between time on the bridge, and it was really weird that two-thirds of the movie do that, and then for the last like half hour of the film, it's suddenly just like, oh no, we're caught up to real time now. We're just gonna finish the movie. It really felt like if you're gonna use the thing for that long in the movie, it should be used for the whole movie. To use it for for a little over two-thirds of the movie, and then just not do it for the last act is weird, in my personal opinion. Um, Also, the other thing was, it just felt like the display of mutants that were there was just really, really under impressive. It was like, they all sort of had very similar powers, and it really didn't display much of their mutant abilities. Colossus was there, and a Negasonic Teenage Warhead was easily the most interesting, although she's essentially female Cannonball in the movies. And in the comics, she's actually a psychic. So that's weird. But that's not the only adjustment they make to mutant powers in the Deadpool movies. But so let me just this problem here of not enough mutants. Well, Deadpool 2 totally fucking fixes that, and it is awesome. I'm not even gonna play with you. I love Deadpool 2. I like it way better than Deadpool 1. Deadpool 1 is cool. Deadpool 2 is like, this is my jam. Deadpool 2, I like it a ton more. It is actually now in my top 3 X-Men movies. Not my top 3 comic book movies, but definitely top 3 X-Men movies. It's Logan, Days of Future Past, Deadpool 2, followed by First Class and X-Men 2. That's the top 5. But anyways, getting back to Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 just delivered more than I even expected. Part of me thought this was going to be good, and I was just really excited to see X-Force and Cable. I'm a big fan of Cable. It's the only reason I tolerate Rob Liefeld, who on all other regards is a hack. No offense to anyone who likes Rob Liefeld. If you like Rob Liefeld, you're totally allowed to. He's just a terrible writer. And while his art has an appeal, you would never choose him over Todd McFarlane or say Jim Lee, who are both better artists, with similar styles. But better art. God, Rob Liefeld, you really fucked that Hawkman comic book up. We're not going to talk about that. Anyways, so Deadpool 2, super excited because Cable. I love Cable. Cable is one of my favorite X-Men characters. I was a big X-Force fan. I love X-Force comics. I could have read more of them. I will admit that. I haven't read a ton of them, just enough to know that I love X-Force. X-Force and the New Mutants, which is sort of what became X-Force later, which is essentially what became X-Force. So for me, Cable in the movie is awesome. My only real complaints with Cable in the movie is they don't really address the fact that he's a mutant. In fact, they never talk about the fact that he's a mutant, which is weird to me. And that was the one thing missing from the movie. If they had addressed or even hinted at the fact that Cyclops and Jean Grey are Cable's parents, I would have just been over the moon. It would have bumped the score. I'm going to give this up a whole point. I'm not even going to lie to you. That would have just tickled my fanboy pickle. Cable, Josh Brolin does a great job. It's just so excited to see him on screen. And the movie also has a ton more mutants. I'll talk more about those in spoilers, but it's awesome. Shatterstar from X-Force is there. Bedlam from X-Force. Zeitgeist from that one weird all-red version of X-Force. Uh, they're in the movie. Domino, of course, Domino's great. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, there's more Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead in the movie. Negasonic Teenage Warhead has a girlfriend, which actually means that this X-Men movie has a lot of LGBTQ representation. Negasonic Teenage Warhead head's girlfriend, and then according to comic book continuity, they haven't addressed it in the movies, but Deadpool is supposed to be pansexual, is my understanding. I don't know. I don't actually read a lot of Deadpool, but that's my understanding. And it's also got Shatterstar, who came out as gay in the comics in it. So it's got a lot of LGBTQ in it, which is cool if you're into that. So that's cool. And oh man, and then there's more mutants. I'm not gonna spoil all the mutants in this part because a few of them are surprises. One of them most people have probably already figured out because it was hinted at in some of the trailers, and it's just awesome to see him in the movie. There's just so many more mutants, which I love. And while we don't get to see all of their powers because of certain plot devices, it's just awesome to have them in there and having comic book accurate stuff happen to them. So yeah. I just loved Deadpool 2. It's funny, it's great. I had some minor complaints my complaints about it are so minor. But here I'll tell you one of them. In the trailers, there's the sequence where Deadpool is like cutting, like trying to slash all Cable's bullets out of the air, but he gets shot a lot instead. He like deflects one and then gets shot a bunch. The thing about that moment in the movie is that in the trailer, there are two different trailers where they use different jokes for what he says immediately after getting shot by Cable. And the thing about those jokes is the jokes in the trailer are funnier than the joke they use in the movie. The one in the movie is still funny, but I gotta be honest, both the jokes in the trailers I thought were funnier than the one they ultimately used. Which is not to say that the other one, when they use, isn't funny. It's just not as funny. And there's a couple other parts where that happens with jokes in the movie, which is cool because I guess that means they improvised a lot on set. As an improviser, I'm down with that. But I did think the choice, editing-wise, the choice of joke they chose to use over the one they used in the trailer was occasionally odd. The action is really good. When the action first started, my first thought was, oh, this is kind of choppy. I guess he's not as good of a martial. I guess Ryan Reynolds is not as good at martial arts as Keanu Reeves is, considering it's directed by the guy who did one of the directors of John Wick. But as the movie progressed, that got better. There's also this one weird sequence early on where Deadpool is chasing this guy in slow motion. And when I watched that sequence, I noticed one really weird thing about it, which is that literally every other character is clearly moving faster than the guy Deadpool is chasing. Like he's clearly in much more slow motion than everyone else. Pay attention, you might notice it. But and there's some of the writing's a little bit sloppy, but it's almost acknowledged to be sloppy. And like there's numerous points where I'm like, it doesn't really make sense. But it was weird how little it bothered me because the movie doesn't take itself that seriously. And normally that stuff bothers me, but it wasn't overplayed, and somehow the movie just sort of rolls with it. And I was like, at a certain point, I was like, okay, whatever. There's not a whole lot more I can say without getting into spoilers. Definitely, if you've not seen Deadpool 2 yet, and I'm sorry this video is late. I had a crazy busy weekend. I could easily have put this out anywhere else during the weekend. But now here it's going to hit you like middle of the week when everyone else's reviews are already out. But that's cool. So sorry about the delay. It's a crazy busy weekend. It was a birthday party for my daughter and stuff. But anyways, it's just I fully endorse Deadpool 2. It's awesome. Definitely go fucking see Deadpool 2. It's killer. Like I said, only minor complaints. Some of the jokes in the trailer were funnier than the ones they used in the actual movie. I wish they'd addressed Cable's origin just a tiny bit more. But honestly, so much of it was good. And like, it is bizarrely enough one of the most X-Men X-Men movies. Like, there are things this movie does that X-Men fans have been waiting forever for. And as an X-Men fan, an X-Force fan, that fucking ruled to me. So definitely 100% go see this movie if you like the X-Men. If you read the comics, if you like comic book movies, please go see the movie. It is awesome. I think it's better than Deadpool 1. Easily better than Deadpool 1. 100% love this movie more than Deadpool 1. All right, we're going to get into some spoilers real quick here. So, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, so the other things that I did have one other minor complaint that bothered me about the movie. They one of the gags of the film, they kill off almost all the X-Force dies in one sequence, and it's all because of Deadpool's incompetence, really, as a leader. Essentially, they try to airdrop onto the thing, and the wind fucks them up, and almost all of them die. Bedlam dies. Sorry, Terry Crews, you were so cool. Zeitgeist dies. The Vanisher, aka the Brad Pitt cameo. Oh my god, so crazy. I hope you didn't. You should not be watching spoilers if you've not seen this part. But I love how they. That was like comic book people. They lie about comic book movies a lot in interviews now. Ryan Reynolds said they took out the Thanos joke. The Thanos joke is in there. But getting back to the X-Force dying, I was super disappointed when Shatterstar died. I'm actually a big Shatterstar fan. When Shatterstar dies, I was like, oh, come on! I was very disappointed when Shatterstar died because he is at one point he's one of the core X-Force people who's been in numerous incarnations of the X-Force. So when he died, that was super disappointing for me. We never even got to see him shoot energy beams out of his swords, god damn it. But so that was disappointing. Maybe Mojo World will be featured in future X-Force movie. Oh, Mojo World would be a good choice for the X-Force movie. That's another thing. If Disney cancels the announced X-Force movie now, I will be pissed. I want that movie a lot now, having seen this movie, because more Cable. And the fact that Cable's daughter is Hope, fucking awesome. There's just so much. The end credit scene is awesome. The jokes about the X-Men is so cool. Juggernaut. This movie has serious redemption for Juggernaut after X-Men 3. They acknowledge his relation to Charles Xavier. Thank you. I would have forgiven so much of X-Men 3 if those two characters had acknowledged each other when they passed each other. I would have forgiven so fucking much of that movie if they had acknowledged those two characters being related. Like, this is the simple thing that X-Men movies could do so much better that would make their movies so much better, and X-Men misses the boat on it almost every time, which is just to acknowledge key character relations. Like, it was a big deal for me that they acknowledged the fact that Quicksilver was related to Magneto in the more recent films. It's a big deal to me because it's so easy, it's so simple, and it makes the character so much fucking better. So the fact that they did it for Deadpool also is awesome. Referencing Juggernaut as being related to Charles Xavier and other relations in the movie, so awesome. Which actually was kind of why I was disappointed that they didn't acknowledge Cable's relation to Jean Grey and Cyclops. The movie's also got Black Tom Cassidy, which they get a lot of jokes, and I don't really see Black Tom Cassidy's powers because he spends the whole movie in a power a collar that prevents his powers from being active. They also don't acknowledge the fact that he's someone who also has the same techno-organic virus that makes Cable a cyborg. I hope they bring up that in future movies. I really do. But I also hope they use Cable's powers in future movies. It's cool they use cyborg stuff and he has like all this technology and time travel. But I really wanted to see them at least acknowledge the fact that he is one of the most powerful telekinetic people on the planet. That they don't really ever. So that's disappointing for me. I want them to acknowledge that. Side note, in the comic books when they changed his power to being able to download and upload data, that made me want to fucking punch people. That's the stupidest fucking shit. I'm sure it had something to do with them trying not to pay Rob Liefeld, but whatever. It's just so fucking good. I had so much fun, and honestly, go see it. It's so good. Deadpool 2 is awesome. Period. Go see it. I did not give a score before I went into spoilers. Oh shit. Maybe I'll edit it so I add that. I don't know. In text. I'm not gonna. I'm lazy. I give Deadpool 2 a 9. It's a high 9 though. It's close to a 10. But it is a fucking 9. I love it. It's top 3 X-Men movies easily. It's so X-Men-y, and I want X-Force. I want that movie. I do think it's kind of fucked up they killed off one of the gay X-Men. But I just want X-Force 2. I just want the X-Force movie so bad now. So Disney, if you cancel that, I'm gonna be pissed, like unbelievably pissed, if you cancel the X-Force movie. Just saying. Just saying, Disney. Don't do that. Please don't fucking do that. All right, so once again, I give it a 9. Definitely go check it out. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, notifications, all that jazz. Watch my other videos, whether they're reviews or sketches. I post different types of things, and I'm pretty sure YouTube punishes me for it in some way with their algorithm, but I don't care. Thank you so much for watching. Go see Deadpool 2. Give it a 9. Peace out, Internet.